Hi everyone! I wanted to thank you to some tips from Dr. Tammy, and I'm calling this my quarantine cooking show. Lots of people are asking me, what do I cook, what do I bake, how are we staying healthy during this time when we're sheltering at home. My dog Stitch is going to help us out. You can hear him getting off the Chesterfield. Anyways, what we're going to make is my mom's apple crisp, and I'll tell you what swaps I do to make it healthy. So the oven is preheated at 350, and I have everything ready. I didn't think you'd want to watch me peel apples, but here's an interesting thing. The cores are one of the the peel is one of the healthiest parts and the most nutrient dense. So you can keep those separate, and you can actually freeze them and put them in your smoothies. So don't waste that, and it's really lots of fiber, so that feeds your microbiome and everything else as well. So I pre-cut a lot of apples. I do a variety of apples. I do Golden Delicious, I do Honey Crisp, I do whatever is on sale actually. And you want to make sure that you have a lot of apples because they are going to shrink. And the apples are going to cook while you make the crumble topping. And we double the crumble topping because our family likes it. Now this is mixture of monk fruit sugar and real sugar. If I use 100% monk fruit sugar, my family notices. So this is a mixture, and that way you can cut down on the sugar. And I can't really tell you how much to use because it depends on the tartness of the apples. And you want to put it in this while it's cooking, and then we'll stir it in a little bit. And then you're going to put in cinnamon. We use a lot of cinnamon. We put it in our coffee. We do a lot of things with cinnamon. Cinnamon actually will help you balance your blood glucose. It makes the cinnamon makes the coffee taste great. Actually, another trick with your coffee is to put in salt. Apparently that's an Italian thing. My husband taught me that, and it takes away the bitter. And you want this to be soft, so you want to continue to stir until those are really soft like pie. So here's my handy dandy recipe. Like I said, the oven is on at 350 degrees, getting warm. And you put everything into a big bowl so that you can just mix it. And I like to mix things with my hands. So this is 2 cups of flour. You can use the cup for cup gluten-free flour. And you're going to use 2 cups of... The apples are continuing to cook nicely. And I put in the rolled oats. It's 2 cups of rolled oats. And you can see that the juices are starting to flow here in the apples. Then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of baking powder, and some more cinnamon. So now what we're going to do is mix it with the butter. It's 2 cups of butter. So I've already washed my hands earlier, and this is a pastry-like method where you just dig in and try and make it into crumbles. You can always use a mixer if you prefer, but like I said, some of the times I think it's just better to get in there with your hands, and then you can get it the way you want. I'm not sure if you can see this. The butter is soft. I guess I get to clean the floor up. And it sticks everywhere. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, it's a crumble. So just get it all through. And you're going to have it end up like pieces of apples. And a lot of times, I don't know why, but you might need a little bit more flour or a little bit more rolled oats. And so this is kind of sticky. So even though I did put in the 2 cups, I'm going to put in a little bit more. So this is it. This is the crumbly, wonderful, pebbly, looks like little pebbles and sand. And you're gonna put that all over the top of the apple crisp. So I'll wash my hands and get the apples stirred one more time. So what do you use apple crisp for? Well, our family uses it for dessert, but we also have it for breakfast. It's a really great school day breakfast because it's mostly fruit. It's also healthy because of the low sugar, especially when you swap it for at least part of, if not all, monk fruit. The cinnamon is good. The oatmeal kind of feels like an oatmeal apple pie breakfast. Brown sugar, and again, you can swap half of it or even all of it with the monk fruit. Stitch! My dog's getting his treats. So you don't have to cook them all the way because remember, it's going to bake at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. You can see all the juices down at the bottom, and it looks really great. I kind of flatten everything first so that I can put it on the crumbs and turn off the heat. And you can put the crumbles on top. There's no magic amount. You can put a tiny little bit if you prefer to have more apple. You can put a lot if you prefer the oatmeal-y kind of taste. It's really customized to what you like. We like the oatmeal part. Make sure you get into the corners. You don't want any bad pieces when you're serving. If you have berries, you can make it with berries instead of apples. You can make it with peaches instead of apples. So this is sort of a recipe you can use year-round for whatever is in season or whatever you prefer. I have one daughter who loves peaches. She loves peach pie. So she would probably love this with peaches. Okay, now remember your container is hot because it's been cooking. So use your oven mitts and we're going to transfer it to the oven. I still have some left over. I'll have to think of something to do. I have some berries in the fridge. So. And go over into the oven. We'll be back with apple crisp. Okay, we are ready. Let's go get the apple crisp. Smells great. You can see it has a golden brown top. Looks so good. Now you need to let it cool for about an hour or more, otherwise it'll be too crumbly. Forgot to tell you, it can spill over. So if you put a cookie sheet with parchment paper underneath it, it'll catch all the drippings and you don't have to clean more. All right, we are going to have this for dessert tonight. You can have it just as is. You can put a scoop of ice cream, a little bit of organic cream on it. Enjoy, it's healthy and delicious. Thanks for joining me on my quarantine cooking show.